missed that. Alright, if you have kept up with my recent videos, you might be confused to hear that I've been on vacation for pretty much the entire month of June. Today is the 4th of July. I wanted to explain a little bit about what I've been up to the last few weeks because my videos don't always post exactly at the same time as real life when they happen. It takes me some time to edit my videos, and sometimes I'll schedule videos in a certain way to make sure I don't have any like long gaps without any videos. Try to be consistent with 2 videos a week. Recently I've been doing Thursday, Sunday, although I haven't been super consistent about what time of day to post those videos. My summer schedule has been different than my regular schedule, so it's been a little harder to stay exactly consistent. So, yeah, I've done some crazy stuff this summer. Starting June 6th, this part's not as crazy, I went on a pretty standard vacation down to Myrtle Beach. I say standard, it's not really standard for me. A lot of people in this area, I live in western Pennsylvania, a lot of people that I know go down to Myrtle Beach. But yeah, we went out to Myrtle Beach with my wife's family, and that was a lot of fun. We spent, I think, like 5 or 6 days down there. That was a good time. After that, I got home. We were home for 2 days. Mostly did some lawn work and just kind of got the house ready, started packing up. And then the real fun started. I have family, like I said, I'm from western Pennsylvania. My family's from western Pennsylvania. My family has since moved to different areas. So I have an older brother and an older sister. My sister is currently living in Milwaukee as an engineer, an electrical engineer for Harley Davidson, which is very cool. She, in part, is the one who inspired me to get into motorcycles, but I'll explain more on that later. Her boyfriend, by the way, Walker, also is an engineer for Harley Davidson, so you'll hear me talk about Walker in a lot of my videos also, and you'll see him. Walker was super generous to allow me to ride his Suron, and has previously allowed me to ride a couple of his other bikes. He's got a Livewire Del Mar. More on that. You're good. Anywho. So, as I was saying, my sister and her boyfriend live out in Milwaukee, home of Harley Davidson. That's where Harley Davidson began in like the 1910s. Actually, I think it might have been like 1909. Anyway, so that's cool. I got to visit her. Let me rephrase this. I feel like I got to be a little quicker paced with the way I was saying this. The first time through, I was explaining a lot. Let me just do a little rundown, then I'll do a better explanation. So I just went on a huge, over 3,000 mile trip, probably almost 4,000 miles, if not, yeah, probably somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 miles, in my little 1991 Mazda Miata. I took it all the way out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Spent a few days there, did some cool stuff. Went to southern Wisconsin. There are a couple small towns in there, one of which is where my mom and my stepdad live now. Then I took a day and I went out to Nebraska, did a couple cool things in the area around Omaha and Lincoln, Nebraska, and then carried down to a little south of Kansas City, where my brother lives now.
Moose in the front, beat in the back.
My brother's also an engineer. He's working for Garmin now, so he does a lot with their like outdoors products.
Oh. How you doing?
Doing brother stuff.
Doing brother stuff.
Kind of sounded like his belt was squealing or something there.
That's what I was just wondering.
Do you have a squealing belt or something?
I do.
Okay.
It's like...
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like happening between...
Alright, hey. Yeah, that's your... why don't we head home?
Yeah.
Okay, I have jumper cables in the back if you have an alternator problem. So let me know. Well, I'll see you.
It's just rubber.
Probably, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
You know,
Oh, that looked like his belt. I swear to God, there was a little piece of rubber, and it looked like his belt came off. Hold that.
I mean, there's coolant now. Like, you can see the coolant. I'm pulling
How
it.
high is your coolant at the moment?
Can we tow it with my truck? And you brake, because the brakes still work. You can brake with it, and I just accelerate.
The
and as long
e-brake works.
Cool. That was good. It could be worse for sure.
When we were staying with my brother in Kansas City, or the area around Kansas City, we took one day and drove down south to Route 66, going through Kansas. We checked out the town that inspired the Cars movie, Baxter Springs. At least Radiator Springs was based on that town, and Tow Mater. We saw the original truck that inspired Tow Mater. Then we kept going down. We went to Oklahoma and Arkansas, which are states that we've never been to before. And like I said, like, we did some cool stuff in all these places. After that, we went back up to Kansas City. That was all in one day. Then we did some other cool stuff in Kansas City, including going to a barbecue place. Had a fantastic time. Then we went east. We stayed in Tennessee for a day. And in Tennessee, there was an old friend senior dog sanctuary, one of the cool places that my wife really wanted to go visit. And after that, we went to North Carolina. We stayed in North Carolina for 3 nights, I think. We went through the Tail of the Dragon. checked out some of the other really fantastic roads there. Cherahela or Cherahalla Skyway, the Diamondback, some famous motorcycle roads, but we took the Miata through all that. Then we came back up, passed through the New River Gorge, and now we're back in Pennsylvania. So, needless to say, I had a fantastic time. Now, you're not going to see all of that all at once. I'm going to try to put little pieces of footage into this video so you can get a feel for some of the cool stuff we did. But, like when I say we went to Milwaukee, I have probably 9 videos from Milwaukee alone. I got to drive a BRZ for the first time. I got to test ride a Harley-Davidson Nightster. That was my first time ever riding a Harley-Davidson, and it was in the home of Harley-Davidson, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's cool as heck. It feels real light underneath me. Part of that's probably the lower center of mass. It's, I think, 480 pounds or something like that. So.
I feel bad. You know how to go over all that stuff? You know
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah.
We're going to go up to the cop shop, take a left, and another quick right.
Okay. I got to take Walker Suron for a ride on the trails at a place called Bong Recreational Area. It's a state park, or a recreational area in Wisconsin. And he took his new bike, his Beta 390 RR, which is an Italian dirt bike that he managed to get street legal. Although I think it was a previous owner who lived in a different state that he did that, and then he was able to bring the street legal title back to Wisconsin, etc., etc. But that's super cool. And one of their other coworkers and friends, Josh. Well, first of all, I should mention thank you also to Josh for allowing me to drive his BRZ around. But Josh came on that adventure also to Bong, and he rode his KLX 250, which was actually Walker's bike that you might recognize from some previous videos. But and to clarify, now it's Josh's bike. He bought it. But anyway, so we did some really cool stuff in Milwaukee. We did some really cool stuff in the other part of southern Wisconsin, including riding a different type of electric bike, but like a pedal bike with an electric motor. So that was neat. We went to a place called the Midwest Microcar Museum in southern Wisconsin. That is a really small, like, car and motorcycle museum, but it's focused on micro cars, really tiny cars. It was funny for me going to doing this huge adventure in a Miata and then going to a microcar museum. That makes sense to me. But they're cars that are even smaller, like much smaller than a Miata. Like most of them were smaller than a smart car. You might remember if you watched Top Gear, they did an episode on the Reliant Robin. That was there. The BMW Isetta, which is that real small car with a door that kind of opens up like a refrigerator door in the front. That is really neat.
Sit inside and take a picture.
That was there. They actually had 2 versions of that. They had a Heinkel as well, which was just a different German brand. Anyway, there's a lot of history to that too. Heinkel and Messerschmitts both had cars there, and those are 2 brands that during World War II made airplanes. So that's cool. Doing a lot of yapping. It's hard to stay on track here. There's so much that I want to tell you guys about. You know what? Even on the way to Milwaukee, I went to a place called the St. Charles Motorcycle Museum. It was a really cool collection of vintage bikes. They had a lot of BMWs, a lot of the like horizontally opposed BMWs, but they also had a Vincent. I think they had 2 Vincents, which is insane. They had a Peugeot. That was the first time I saw a Peugeot motorcycle. It might have been the first time I ever saw a French motorcycle, but probably not. Probably just didn't recognize the last couple French motorcycles I've seen, because nobody knows that France even produced motorcycles ever. Nah, I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but yeah, just a fantastic time. Saw that whole museum even before I got to Milwaukee. That was day 1 of the trip. So anyway, all this to say, it's going to be hard for me to wait to post some of my favorite videos like especially the Tail of the Dragon footage. So I might even post like one of those videos earlier on, and then wait until the end of the trip, because chronologically that happened at the end. But anyway, I'm gonna post this video, and then you can expect, you know what, the crazy thing is, like I said, today's July 4th. Tomorrow is the largest car show that I go to every single year, and it's right in my my home area, my locality, and it's probably my favorite day of the year, every single year. Other than maybe Christmas, I do like seeing my family too. But anyway, it's one of my favorite days every single year. So I'll be definitely making a video on that. That might post even before this video, perhaps. I'm not sure. And then a couple of smaller like videos about specific things I did in Milwaukee. Test riding the Nightster. That'll be its own video. Driving the BRZ, going to Bong. Like I was saying, I have a ton of exciting videos planned. I don't know if I can keep doing 2 videos a week. I might have to do 3. So anyway, if you're interested in any of the videos that I mentioned, consider subscribing. I don't normally ask you guys to subscribe, but honestly, I can definitely see some logical reasons why you might consider subscribing at this time. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers too. It's been a goal of mine. I wanted to do it in the first year of YouTube. I definitely didn't do that. I think after the first year I was in the 700 range, which honestly isn't that far off. But you know, I'm kind of critical. If I set a goal and I don't meet it, it makes me sad. Anyway, I have just a ridiculous number of exciting things that I got to do. So, man, I was hoping by the time I would get back here that they would finish building that, but not yet. If you're from the area, you know Sheetz is a big deal. Thumbs up to Sheetz, thumbs down to Wawa. We don't like Wawa in this part. If you like Wawa, let me know, but you're wrong. I'm just playing. Oh, hey, by the way, there's actually a little bit more that I'll be doing later on this year. Later in the year, well, later this summer, I'm actually going to be going out west. This is definitely going to be my biggest, or at least the most number of vacation days planned for a summer in my life. I'll only be home for like 3 to 4 weeks total this entire summer. I've never really mentioned this. I am a high school Spanish teacher. That's kind of weird to say out loud. It's not like I've been keeping it a secret, but actually I might turn here. Let's see. Yeah, it's not really a secret, but it just feels weird to say out loud. I don't really think it's necessary to talk about my personal life a lot of the time, but that's why I have so much time off in the summer. But yeah, later this summer, I'm actually going to be going out west. I don't think I've been to any of the national parks out west. I could be wrong about that, but it'll be super cool to check out some national parks for the first time with my wife's family. So I'll probably include a little bit of footage of that later on, but that has not actually happened yet.